Carlos Rodriguez said nobody won except Miami sports fans did. That's the only right answer. I didn't know who to vote for. I went Greer because I'm a way bigger Dolphins fan, Elo Samate said. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Both is the correct answer, according to Alex G. And a couple people said both. So there you go, man. Although if I'd given both as an option, that would have been like way too obvious. Like more people would. Oh, and we're back. By the way, we're back streaming on YouTube. We got interrupted right around 5:00, so the stream is back live for anybody who wants to hop in. So go to YouTube or YouTube.com, depending on whether you're on an app or you're on a website. Go to YouTube, search Onside Radio, stream the show live. We'll be live for another 27 minutes, and you can join the live chat. The live chat was going very, very strong before we got knocked off. We've still been on radio, audio streaming the whole time, but we got knocked off YouTube for a little bit. We are back and up and running now. We got another live mic situation. I want to get into that when we return. Hey, Sundays, OnSideRadio.com continues to provide you the kind of sports talk South Florida fans desire. Every Sunday at 7 a.m., tune in to the Sunday Sports Drop with Jazz Santana. Catch Jazz every week as he takes your calls and discusses the biggest stories in sports. That's the Sunday Sports Drop, 7 to 9 a.m., exclusively at OnSideRadio.com.
The man of the match with South Florida's own Alex Donno. Weekdays 1 to 5 p.m. on the home for Inter Miami football. OnSideRadio.com.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
If you missed Onside Zone with Big O, you missed.
Wasn't there another boy band like 98 Degrees or 99
American
Degrees?
pop and R&B vocal group consisting of 4 vocalists.
It is
Jeff Timmons, brothers Nick and Drew Lachey, and Justin. Yeah, Nick Lachey, that's right.
Nick Lachey. So it was 98 Degrees, right? There you go. How about that? Did you know I was the boy band expert, by the way?
Onside Zone with a Big O from 12 noon to 3 p.m. every weekday on OnSideRadio.com. You're listening to the only sports station in South Florida that likes to take your calls. 888-441-4623. We connect with a South Florida sports fan because we are South Florida. Locally owned and operated. 888-441-4623. OnSideRadio.com. South Florida's home for real sports talk.
Look out, world, we're getting strong. The future's here and we belong. She can STEM, she can do more. Like build a rocket and watch it soar. Or clean the oceans and make the world a better place. Oh, she can STEM, so can you. Find a cure, invent something new. There's no challenge in the world that she can't face. She can STEM.
Learn more at She Can STEM. A message brought to you by the Ad Council.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnSideRadio.com sports update.
The Miami Dolphins pulled off 2 trades today, shaking things up before the NFL draft. Miami has traded the number 3 overall pick to the San Francisco 49ers in exchange for the number 12 pick, a third-round pick, and a 2022 and a 2023 first-round pick. The second trade has the Fins acquiring the number 6 pick and a 5th-round pick in exchange for the number 12 pick, a 4th-round pick, and a 2022 first-round pick. The Miami Heat dropped their 5th game in a row last night in a close one, 125-122 against the Portland Trail Blazers. The Heat have dropped to the 7th seed but are only 1 game behind the team they play tomorrow, the Charlotte Hornets. Tip-off is at 8 p.m. In the NHL, the Florida Panthers are on a 3-game losing skid after their loss to the Chicago Blackhawks last night, 3-0. The Panthers can snap their losing streak tomorrow night against the Dallas Stars. Puck drops at 8 p.m. With your On-Site Sports update, I'm Alex Aguirre, and coming up next, it's more of Man of the Match with Alex Donno, and Game Night with Michael Christian is right after at 6 p.m. You are listening to the only locally owned sports station in South Florida, OnSiteRadio.com.
You're listening to OnSideRadio.com. Catch up anytime by downloading the MyTuner Radio app. OnSideRadio.com, South Florida's true hometown station. Welcome back to the Man of the Match with Alex Donno. You can reach out anytime on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
It's been a really fun show today, a really busy show. We've had a lot going on after Pat Riley's masterful trades yesterday, Chris Greer's masterful Miami Dolphins trades today. Dolphins this morning, or early this afternoon, I think, to be accurate, traded down with San Francisco, number 3 to number 12, picking up 2 future first-round picks among some others. And then they actually trade up then from number 12 to number 6 with Philadelphia, and they still maintain one of those future first-round picks. And now I think the beauty of this is not only did you pick up assets, to the net result is you move down 3 spots. So not only do you pick up assets, but you still have the flexibility at number 6 overall to probably take anybody you had in mind, right? Because I think the first 3 picks in this draft are all going to be quarterbacks. You might have 4 quarterbacks in a row, right? When you think about it, Trevor Lawrence is a shoo-in for number 1 overall. You know he's going to Jacksonville. I mean, Urban Meyer didn't even bother to go to Zach Wilson's pro day today because why would you waste your time when you know you're getting Trevor Lawrence? Zach Wilson, Alex, did you see that throw that he made? And I know this is a pro day throw, but the way he threw like 50 yards downfield across his body, a perfect dime, that kid, Zach Wilson, has some freakish talent.
I saw it, and like you said, I know it's just pro day, but that's an extremely difficult type of throw to do, and on target and a deep pass with not a lot of air under it. It was still kind of straight.
True.
Because they look at that as well, how much air time is under your deep passes, because that gives more time for the defense to react.
I throw ducks.
Same. I throw a football like I'm throwing a baseball, just with the whole wind up and everything,
Yep.
man. It just feels natural like that.
Yeah. Zach Wilson, he's going to end up being the 2nd overall pick. He's going to go to the New York Jets. In fact, the Eagles wanted to get that pick, and New York didn't budge. But the Eagles end up taking themselves out of the quarterback market, right? They're all in with Jalen Hurts, all right? But no, I think Zach Wilson's going to be the 2nd overall pick. You'll probably have number 3 now to San Francisco. Because remember, once the dust settled from all these Dolphins trades, the San Francisco 49ers have the 3rd overall pick. They didn't trade up to number 3 not to get a quarterback. That would be absurd. So it's very obvious now San Francisco is in the quarterback sweepstakes, and they're looking to move on from Jimmy Garoppolo, whether it's this offseason or maybe he is kind of the bridge and they move on from him next year. But, yeah, I think San Francisco is going to draft Justin Fields or maybe Trey Lance. And then whichever one of those guys doesn't go number 3 might go number 4 to Atlanta. I'm not convinced Atlanta doesn't take a quarterback. So you could have 4 quarterbacks in a row taken. Now, Cincinnati at number 5, I think they're going to draft Penei Alavadka-Sewell, and he is, means it's not our problem. Our guy Tito is breathing a huge sigh of relief. He would have cried if the Dolphins drafted Penei Sewell. You know, at number 6, I don't think they'll even have the option. I think he's going to be off the board. And then the Dolphins now have the 6th overall pick. And if those first 5 go the way that I just predicted, it's the most perfect situation ever. Dolphins weren't going to take a quarterback. That's why they wanted to move out at number 3. They weren't going to take a quarterback, trade the pick to somebody who will. Okay? So if it goes 4 quarterbacks and an offensive tackle, you're going to have any wide receiver or tight end that you want. You want Kyle Pitts, you can have him. You want Jamar Chase, he's yours. You want Devontae Smith and that 24-inch waist of his, he's yours. You want Jalen Waddle, that magnificent pass-catching ability of his, he's yours. This is awesome. So the Dolphins pick up an extra asset, an extra first-round pick, and they can still get any player that they would have taken at number 3. This was a beautiful, beautiful move by Chris Grier, and I'm absolutely loving it. This is so funny to me. So we've had a lot of these live mic, hot mic situations. A couple weeks ago, you had that, I almost forgot about the one that hit us very close to home with the anti-Semite Myers Leonard, who's now no longer a member of the Miami Heat, but he was on that. Although that you can't really even call that a hot mic, because that's such stupidity, because he's streaming. Like it's not a hot. He knows it's a hot mic. He's streaming on Twitch like a asinine. But you had Myers Leonard dropping the K word on that video game stream a few weeks back. You also had that high school basketball announcer who dropped the N word and then blamed it on diabetes. That was pretty unbelievably terrible and pathetic. And you've also had now a Southwest pilot caught on a hot mic. He didn't realize his microphone was on to the air traffic controller. The thing about this one is people are scrambling to find reasons to be offended by this. I don't know, like, honestly, unless you're a resident of the city of San Francisco, but not like a specific ethnic group. He none of what he said was homophobic or racist or sexist. So, like, maybe if you are just a citizen of San Francisco and you're saying, I love my city, how it's like an Anchorman when Ron Burgundy said, bleep you, San Diego. How dare he say that about my city? Maybe if you have so much pride in San Francisco, you can say, how dare he say that about my residents? But, like, people are trying to find a reason to be outraged by this pilot. I mean, outside of the fact that he curses like a sailor, I don't know what he said that's actually offensive. So this was picked up in a hot mic. I tried to find audio of this. I couldn't. I only found a transcript. So I'd love to play it for you guys, like with bleeps, if nothing else. Chances are air traffic controller audio, the quality probably sucks anyway, but I could only find a transcript of it. So in the recording on March 12th, and this was a Southwest plane that was about to land in San Francisco, and the pilot didn't realize his mic to the air traffic controller was live. And on March 12th, he says, bleep this place. Goddamn liberal bleeps, he said. And he then continues, bleeping weirdos. Probably driving around in effing Hyundais. Effing roads and bleep that go slow as bleep. And you don't have balls unless you're effing rolling coal, man. God damn it. So I don't know, man. I mean, I guess if you're a bleeding heart Democrat, you're like, how dare he make fun of liberals? Or if you live in San Francisco, how dare he make fun of my city? Or maybe if you drive a Hyundai, it's very offensive to you what he said. But I don't know, man. I find this to be incredibly funny, and I wish I don't know if I'm allowed to say the F word here or not. I have no idea. We drop S-bombs occasionally. I don't know. I choose not to say the F word. I don't know if that's cool or not, so I just don't say it. But, you know, if I didn't have to censor myself, it would have been a lot funnier. But F this place. Goddamn liberal Fs. Effing weirdos. Probably driving around in effing Hyundais. Effing roads and shit that go slow as F. You don't have balls unless you're effing rolling coal, man. God damn it. What a quote. I mean, I'd love to have a beer with this guy and complain about Hyundais. But I don't know. What do you think, Alex? Because I mean, yeah, I guess a pilot probably shouldn't be talking that way in the cockpit. I mean, worry about landing the plane, but I mean, like that rant, that's like, it doesn't really go after any like specific group of people. I don't like, people are trying to be offended by this. I don't really know unless you're offended by the language.
Listen, everyone, let's take a step back for a second and think about there are a lot more worse things you can hear your pilot say by accident through the airwaves of an airplane than that. So I'm okay with it. Even if he was making fun of Miami, if we're landing in Miami and he says something like, something similar about Miami, like the traffic sucks, F this, F that, I'd be like, yeah, you're kind of right. Yeah. And I'm sure there's a lot of Hyundais in San Francisco. Who knows?
Yeah, could be. I mean,
overpopulated Hyundais, man.
Is that the go-to car in San Francisco?
I have
the
no
Hyundais?
idea.
Like, is that like the official the car of the Bay Area?
Hyundai, the car of the Bay Area.
Seems like they make some decent cars. I've never had one, but I might look into it in the future. I don't know, but this pilot, he rubs some people the wrong way. 844-416-8123. 844-416-8123. This is fair. Texter writes in, it was disturbing to know that passenger safety was in the hands of a cursing lunatic. Okay, I think I can get on board with that, actually. Like, if I'm sitting on that plane, and, I said it was a hot mic with the air traffic controller. It was probably actually over the intercom in the plane, I think is what it was. So the passengers heard this. I think I said that incorrectly. It would be kind of annoying if I'm sitting in the plane and then all of a sudden I hear the pilot ranting and raving about people driving Hyundais. I'd be like, hey, I probably want a little bit more of a level-headed individual landing my plane. That's actually a very fair statement. I think maybe I found the reason. You found the reason, Texter, why this was a little bit annoying. I think I can get on board with that. Oh, man. 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123 on the text line. Man, the show has almost come to an end here. I saw Johnny Manziel was on the Ball Don't Lie podcast. I think this was the debut episode. And he talked about his biggest career regret, how and I could see this with a guy like Johnny Manziel. After he won the Heisman in his freshman year, it just bumped his ego up so much, and he got so consumed like with his own hype and his own individual goals that he thought mentally and physically he let his team down at Texas, and that he didn't take the step from the freshman year to the sophomore year that he should have. And his teammates heading into the second year did not even vote him as a captain after he won the Heisman. And he looks at it and he says, in hindsight, that should have been a warning sign to me that I was not being a good teammate and I was not maximizing my ability. So I actually thought that was pretty cool by Johnny Manziel, who, he realized he wasted his football career, and now he's being very open and honest as to the reasons why. We're going to have the crossover with Michael Christian when we come back. Weeknight, 6 to 7 p.m. Catch Game Night with Michael Christian. Listen to the show that provides the smorgasbord that gamers love and sports fans desire. From breaking sports news to the latest in gaming culture, catch Game Night with Michael Christian from 6 to 7 exclusively at OnSideRadio.com.
The man of the match with South Florida's own Alex Donno. Weekdays 1 to 5 p.m. on the home for Inter Miami football. OnSideRadio.com.
Look out, world, we're getting strong. The future's here and we belong. She can STEM, she can do more. Like build a rocket and watch it soar. Or clean the oceans and make the world a better place. Oh, she can STEM, so can you. Find a cure, invent something new. There's no challenge in the world that she can't face. She can STEM.
Learn more at She Can STEM. A message brought to you by the Ad Council.
Ashiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now, it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Parents, we know we can't protect our kids from everything. Eventually, they're going to bump their heads or scrape their knees. But we can protect them from 6 types of cancer. HPV, or human papillomavirus, is a common, preventable virus that can cause cancer later in life. The HPV vaccine prevents human papillomavirus and all the cancers it can cause. The American Cancer Society recommends getting your sons and daughters the HPV vaccine starting at age 9 to protect them later in life.
Join the Inter Miami family in 2021 by becoming a 2021 season ticket member. Enjoy enhanced access benefits and pricing not available to general fans. Visit intermiamicf.com/tickets for more information.
You're listening to OnsideRadio.com. Catch up anytime by downloading the MyTuner Radio app. OnsideRadio.com, South Florida's true hometown station. You're listening to the station with more live and local sports talk than anyone else in South Florida. OnsideRadio.com, broadcasting from South Florida to the world. Welcome back to the Man of the Match with Alex Donno. You can reach out anytime on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
It's been a really fun show today. Fridays are usually always a lot of fun. Omar Kelly joined us. Juan Cardona joined us. Lee Sterling. Giancarlo Navas. Huge thanks to all them. Huge thanks to Alex Aguirre and Tito Benach for pressing all the right buttons and doing awesome work here. We're going to hand it off shortly to Michael Christian, who hosts Game Night every night, 6 to 7. I always say it, the weekend does not officially start until Michael signs off at 7 o'clock on a Friday. And, Michael, it's reason to celebrate for South Florida sports fans, Dolphin fans and Heat fans. You know, Riley wins the trade deadline yesterday. Chris Greer makes things happen for the Dolphins today. So let me ask you the Foodie Friday question. What would be your go-to celebration meal? Because tonight I think I'm going to go loaded nachos and margaritas. Like, I'm going to do it up big. What's like your go-to celebration meal when you come off a big week like what we had this week?
I feel like I'm going to get slandered for this big time. But my big go-to would have to be Mexican food of literally any kind.
I'm right there with you, bro. I'm having nachos and tequila tonight. I'm right there with you.
But like, I'd even be okay if it was like Taco Bell or Del Taco. Like, it doesn't even have to be fancy. I would literally do any of it.
I don't blame you, man. That sounds good. Alex Aguirre, did you say what you're going with tonight? Remind me. What's your celebration meal?
Wings and beer.
That's right, wings and beer. That's a solid choice as well.
Classic. Just go to classic sports food, pretty much.
You know what wings slap, and I feel like people don't give it enough credit? Publix wings.
They're
like
pretty
the
good.
Publix
Pretty good.
breaded wings.
I'm with you.
Ooh, that's a whole other level right there.
They get the job done. They fill you up. Yeah.
No, and they're good. They're better than people give them credit for. I'll give you that for sure. So, yesterday, Michael, we had a lot to talk about with the moves that Pat Riley made at the deadline. And then Chris Greer is like, hold my beer. And he goes out and he does what he did with the Dolphins today, initially trading from number 3 down to number 12 with San Francisco, then trades back up to number 6 with Philly and keeps one of those first-round picks that he got from San Francisco in the process. So your thoughts on the moves today? How satisfied or dissatisfied are you with what Chris Greer did?
I mean, I think they were really good moves. I was always a big fan of them trading down. I think trading all the way down to 12 was a bit too far, and then they traded right back up to 6. So it's just Chris Greer over here flexing some muscles, being like, hey, Pat Riley, do you want 24 hours so that everybody in South Florida can celebrate the move you just made for Victor Oladipo? Psych, here I come through, taking away all the picks from everyone else. I mean, it's nuts the way it all went down in, like, what was it? Like a 20-minute span? I've never seen that before in my life, not outside of draft day. And even on draft day, I don't ever think I've seen anything that crazy.
It was like the movie Draft Day. Have you seen that with Kevin Costner? Like, these are the types of moves he was making.
I have seen that movie. I actually really do enjoy that movie.
Me too.
I mean, it's about the Browns, which makes me sad because the whole city of Cleveland just makes me depressed. But outside of that, like, that was a really solid film.
Yeah, I thought so too. So, I mean, and the Magic, and tell me if you agree, I think at number 6, probably all of, or at least most of the players you would have drafted at number 3 are still going to be there at number 6.
Yeah, barring one of the teams ahead of them going something outside of quarterback, which they're not really expected to do, you're maybe going to get at least 3 quarterbacks taken in the top 5.
Yep.
So it takes 2 other players, whether it be Sewell, one of the wide receivers, whatever it is. They're going to have their choice from at least 2 of those top 3 wide receivers. Maybe Kyle Pitts will still be there. Maybe they still even have a chance at Sewell, which I know Tito's not too happy about, but it is what it is. Like, there's a lot of options out there. They're in a fantastic spot.
Big Friday show. What do you have planned on game night tonight?
I mean, we're going to dissect more of this Dolphin stuff because it's just so important. It's such a big deal, and you got to give Chris Greer his kudos on that one. Then I want to dive into Miami Heat talk. Obviously, help still isn't arriving, but if you saw last night's game, you know the Heat are actually playing pretty well. And despite the loss, I'm feeling very proud of that team. And then later on in the show, we're going to get into some gaming talk as well.
I love it. Michael Christian is hosting game night. Have a great show, man. We'll talk next week.
Appreciate it, man. You have a good rest of your night and enjoy your nachos.
Oh, thank you so much, man. And enjoy whatever Mexican food you come up with tonight. I love it. So, yeah, thanks to everyone who listened, everyone who partook in the YouTube chat and on the text line. We got a lot of great interaction. We love you guys. Who I got to finish locking in my my bets, courtesy of Lee Sterling. So we'll sign off, and I'll get to that. Hey, Onside Radio enters Kai's Corner with Kai Chen Chisholm every day from 10 a.m. to noon. Join Kai as he discusses the biggest stories in South Florida sports. Tune in every day from 10 a.m. to noon for Kai's Corner on the home for South Florida sports talk, OnsideRadio.com.
OnsideRadio.com knows gamers.